Hello and welcome to your latest Maths Wizard video. It's another video on negative numbers and we're going to be focusing on addition and subtraction in this video. So the key things that you'll know by the end of this video, you'll know the key negative number rules associated with this, and you'll be able to apply these rules using various sums. So the first key rule I would like to consider here is this one. So adding a negative is like subtracting a positive. So if we look at this example here, we've got 5, add minus 8. So what that means is you're adding a negative number to a positive. Now, when you add a negative number to a positive, it's the same as subtracting a positive number. So doing 5 take away positive 8 is the same as doing 5 add minus 8. So you'll get on both of those examples minus 3. Okay, so I'm going to give you a bit of time to practice here now. We'll talk about some of these examples a little bit more in a second because it's a little bit more complicated with addition and subtraction, because with our multiplication and division in the other video that I did, it was a bit more obvious, it was perhaps a bit clearer whether you were going to get a positive or negative answer. So for example, if you had 2 negatives on either of those, you would get a positive answer. But as soon as you had 1 negative and 1 positive, you knew you were going to get a negative answer straight away. Now it's a little bit more complicated here with your addition. Okay, so if you pause your video and have a go, and then we'll take a look at the answers. Okay, and here are your answers to these. So one quite useful way of doing these sort of questions is you can sort of, if you do struggle a little bit, you can sketch yourself a little number line. So we start with minus 7 there. We've got minus 6 if we add 1. If we add 2, we get to minus 5. If we add 3, we get to minus 4. And as you can see, if we add 4 on, we get to minus 3. If we add 5, we get to minus 2. If we add 6, we get to minus 1. And if we add 7, we get back to 0. And then we're going to be going into positive numbers then. So we've got then 1, 2, and then finally at the end we've got 3. So you can see we've added 10 on there. So these number lines, sketching a little number line can be quite useful for you if you do struggle with negative numbers. And one thing to consider on this question, now 10 as a number is bigger than 7. So because we're adding on a positive 10, because 10 is bigger than 7, that should tell you straight away you're going to be going back into those positive numbers, because if we add anything that's 7 or less, we're still going to be in the negative number area here. Okay, very similar idea on this one, look as well. So minus 3 add 5. Now because 5 is bigger than the number 3, so 5 is bigger than positive 3, we know we're going to get back into those positive numbers there. Now this one's question 3 and 4 ones to pay particular attention to. So on this one, you add minus 5. So remember, adding 5 is the same as adding minus 5 is the same as subtracting positive 5. So this time on your number line, you can start at minus 12, and you're going to be going down. So minus 13 is if you take if you take 1 away. Minus 14 is 2. Minus 13 is 3. Minus 12 is, sorry, not minus 12. What am I talking about? Oh, I've gone totally wrong here. There we go. Cross those out. Excuse me a second. Right, so minus 15 is here. There, minus 16. And then we've got minus 17 there. And you can see if you take 5 away, you're going to go down that number line to minus 17. Okay, and if you're adding 2 negatives together, you're always going to get a negative answer there, as you can see on this one as well. Right, I've put this one in as an example here, just a nice contrast to that first question. So when you add 2 to minus 4, you obviously are making the number closer to 0, but because 2 is smaller than positive 4, you're still going to be in the negative numbers there for that one. Okay, so we're going to have a look at some subtractions now. So, key rule to consider when you're subtracting is this. So when you subtract a negative, it's the same as adding a positive. So when you do 5 minus 8, it's the same as doing 5 add 8. So on both of those examples there, you will get an answer of 13. So that's how we practice with these. So if you pause your video and have a go. Okay, so if we take a look at this then, here are your answers here. So on this one here, when you get minus 10, so we're starting with minus 4, and then we're going backwards away from 0. So we're going to minus 5 if you take 1 away, and then minus 6, minus 7, minus 8, minus 9, and then minus 10. So you can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 until we get to minus 10 there. Very similar idea here. We've taken 19 is a larger number than 15, so there we're going to go into the negatives there. And then this one here, remember that when you do minus 2 minus 6, remember you subtract a negative, it becomes an add. So that becomes minus 2 add 6, which takes you to positive 4. On this one, minus 8 take away 2 will give you minus 10. And on this one here again, it becomes an add there. So when you do minus 4 add 3, that will become minus 1. Okay, so hopefully that was a useful video for you. So please hit subscribe if you would like to see lots more videos over the next few months. I'm going to try and cover most of the GCSE Maths Foundation syllabus. Hopefully you found this useful. So have a good day and thanks for listening.